Now the origin of suffering, suffering or dukkha has an origin, it begins, and therefore anything that begins ends. So the beginning or the origin of suffering is ignorance of Dhamma, not having insights, just operating out of the momentum of habit, conditioning, fear, desire. And in these kind of emotions, we tend to just be caught in reactivity to praise and blame, success and failure, the worldly dhammas. We're caught in just reactivity, which is natural. Nobody wants suffering. I don't want suffering. I want happiness, security, love, acceptance, all the best. And that's what out of desire, out of the origin of suffering, avijja, ignorance of Dhamma, then desire arises, and we grasp it. I want happiness, I don't want this suffering. So this is very important to reflect on the nature of desire, because the Second Noble Truth is an investigation of desire, of tanha. In the Pali word for desire is tanha. So, translated into the English word desire, and in English context, desire always has a sense of something, kind of a pejorative quality to it. If you say somebody has a lot of desires, that's not a compliment. They might have a lot of very good desires. Some people are oversupplied with very good desires. So desires can be good, they can be bad. So it's not about not having desire, because this realm that we're experiencing is a desire realm. The very bodies that are sitting here are desire forms. The senses, they're about desire. What we see, or what attracts us, we desire to be attracted through sight. The pleasure of mellifluous sounds, and the aversion to cacophony or to ugly things that we might see. There's a reaction, it's natural. The eyes contacts the object and it's pleasing, we want it. That's natural. Or if it's unpleasing, we want to get rid of it. So meditation isn't about getting rid of desires or getting rid of the bad things, but in awakening to desire, because it's a sankhara. One desire to get rid of desire is a hopeless situation. You just drive yourself crazy with that one. Desire to get rid of desire, and the desire to get rid of the desire to get rid of desire. That's all the further I can go. Even I get twisted up when I get beyond three stages of desire. But so the Buddha emphasized Kama Tanha, which is the Pali for sensual desire, sense desires through the senses. It was quite obvious what we see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Through sensory contact, impingement, desire arises. Then bhava-tanha, this is the problem with many of us in religious orders, in religion itself, is a desire to become, to get something you don't have. Desire for nibbana, desire for stream entry, desire for jhanas, desire for samadhi, desire for getting, what is it? To get something you don't have yet. That's good, like samadhi's good, jhanas are good. Sotapanna, arahant, nibbana, those are all good desires, altruistic desires. But they're still desires. Bhavadanha is like that, wanting to get something you don't have yet. And then vipavadanha is desire to get rid of the nasty bits, the unpleasant, get rid of anger, get rid of fear, get rid of sexual obsessions, get rid of confusion and anxiety, get rid of worry. We all want to get rid of those things on a personal level. This is investigation of desire. What can know desire? What can know gamadana, sensual desire, or bhavadana, or vipavadana? What is it that discerns it? It's not a desire, is it? Desire can't see itself or see other desires, but this sati sampajanya, mindfulness, wisdom, intuitive awareness, this ability we have that the Buddha pointed to. This is the whole point of the Four Noble Truth teaching. Is a directional signs. What is it? It's directing us to look, not outward, to destroy desire or get rid of things that arouse desire, but to know desire for what it is. It's the way it is. Kama tanha is like this. So our relationship to desire is knowing and understanding it rather than grasping it. So the insight is to let go of desire. But to let go of desire, you have to know what desire is. We don't think we should let go of our desires can be one of those righteous statements that religious people tend to often give us. You should not have any desires, you should let go of all your desires, is a righteous statement. But in order to let go of desire, it's not annihilating it, because this realm is a desire realm. This is the way it is. Bodies desire form. The senses are desire forms. The objects around us are desire forms. The universe that we perceive through the senses is all about tanha, desire, arising and ceasing, birth and death. So the meditator then is aware of desire, knows desire is desire. It's a sankhara, just another sankhara, and rather than, and we tend to grasp desires out of habit, because that's the way we're conditioned to grasp desires. And when we observe the suffering we create in our lives through grasping desire, it can be any of the three or all three at various times of the day and night. We do it in the form of a habitual behavior, conditioned behavior. But awareness, sati, sampajanya, and panya is not habit. It's awakening to reality. Wake up, in other words. And I found this Second Noble Truth fascinating. When I was a samanera, the first year I ordained, 1966, in Nong Khai in Thailand, I spent a year investigating the Four Noble Truths, and I got through the first two. Through reflecting on, I could see this had insights into suffering and the cause of suffering, and into letting go. But to let go means you have to know what to let go of. And sometimes when we use the word letting go means like getting rid of. I don't like desire, I'm going to get rid of my desires. And so that's Vipawadana again. You can't win on that by doing that. It's to understand, to recognize, to know for yourself through letting go that you actually let go of desires, which is just releasing your blind habitual grasp on desire. So avijja is the cause, dhanha, upadana, grasping. So in the Pali language, upadana is like grasping. You have a kama, sensual desire, you grasp it, you know, out of habit, out of just, that's the way you're conditioned to do that. You see something you like, you want to get it through the sensory impingement. Then bhavadana, wanting to become. I'm not good enough the way I am. You know, I'm on a personal level. When we all start with the idea there's something, you know, I've got to get that I don't have yet. I'm not good enough the way I am, and I need to do something in order to get rid of these faults, these delusions I have about myself and the world. And so I'm going to come to Amaravati, practice meditation to get rid of these delusions, because I'm a deluded person, and the Buddha, I hope Buddhism will help me break through these delusions, is generally the scenarios we operate from in the beginning. But is there a deluded person? I mean, you create, you know, when you believe that you are a delusion and a person, that's avijja, ignorance of Dhamma. And it doesn't mean I'm already enlightened, I don't need to meditate. And so, I mean, there's various views about, you know, you shouldn't put any effort in, it's just natural, and just awaken to the reality of here and now, and listen to the birds singing in the trees. And it's all kind of poetic and beautiful. But, you know, we might be inspired by such teachings, but this second noble truth is actually giving us something practical to use, to investigate, to get to the root cause of suffering. So we can see for ourselves, we're not just trying to pretend to be enlightened and have and be free from suffering, but observing suffering, observing desire. And what is it that knows desire but doesn't judge it? It's not about good or bad desires, it's panya. Because panya allows us to awaken to the nature of sankhara. All sankharas are impermanent. Sape sankhara anicca.